Welcome to my slightly updated gaming arcade room. I got some of these machines running. FYI, I tested the speakers. You're just not hearing the audio, but for copyright reasons. But yeah, these machines are in fully functioning order. I haven't fired up the MVSX recently, but I tested it a while ago. I got my high caffeinated fridge right here, all ready to go. But what you guys want is actually a demonstration of this guy right here, or I should say this girl. This is the Ms. Pac-Man 40th anniversary head-to-head machine. Now, I would refer to this specifically as a cocktail machine or as a bar machine, like a table machine. However, the official Arcade1Up pronunciation of this is essentially, you know, a head-to-head. Why is it a head-to-head? Because there are two control panels, one here and one here, and there's one screen, and that screen, if a second player is engaged, will flip over when the second player comes in. Right now, it's in Ms. Pac-Man mode. And you can see I'm controlling it right here. Not the world's best Ms. Pac-Man player, but messed up. As you can see, I guess I'm one-handing it. I'm basically unable to, but I shouldn't be making excuses. That's like blaming lag for being sniped. I could have done better. But there were a couple of things that a few people wanted me to test with this, particularly what they want to play and how it works. So the way it works is that when you fire this thing up, you actually do engage this menu here, which is the selection of all the available games that are on file. We got Ms. Pac-Man, we got Pac-Mania, Dig Dug and Dig Dug 2, Mappy, Rally X. And I'm actually a big fan of Rally X. I remembered Rally X specifically because they used it as a mini game during the loading screen of the PSP version of Ridge Racer. And as far as I'm concerned, that makes it awesome. So I do like Rally X. Galaxian, Galaga, Galaga 88, Rompers, Tower of Jiraga, which was pretty cool, but gets really hard really fast, and Rolling Thunder. Now, as to this whole list, there's basically something in here for everybody. My father-in-law really liked Galaga. And here's a little list of basically some adjustments that you can actually make to the game while you're doing this. If you actually bring up the game in the menu and you hit the select start game, it brings up a list of ways that you can play around with this. Usually these are the settings that are triggered by dip switches in the arcade hardware. You can basically just control it here. Now, as you can see here, I have pixel smoothing turned off. That's on by default in all of these games. Turn it off. I think in the newer revisions of the 40th anniversary cab, like the stand-up version, it's off by default. But trust me, you want it off. Trust me on that. Keep it off. Looks much better otherwise. All right, so I'm just gonna hit A for save. Okay, if you guys want to see another game, let's hit this one. Start Galaga. That man is playing Galaga. So here's Galaga's track mode right now. This is no pixel smoothing. There's another thing that somebody actually asked me for because they specifically wanted to see what this looks like. I'm going to turn the lights off right here so you can actually get a better look. Because they did see these lighted panels set up. Now, what are these lighted panels? These lighted panels are not that dissimilar than the lighted panels that come in a game like Turtles in Time, for example. You can see they're basically just a standard lighted panel. and they have different modes. This particular configuration is really not that dissimilar. All you have to do is there's a little hidden switch back here, which I unfortunately can't get to. But if you look right over here, oh, sorry, on this side? Yep, there you are. There's a little hidden switch that you can't see right here. And as you cycle through the options, you can put in solid colors. I'm going to cycle through the solid colors. And then it goes into a progressive mode. The speaker is right there, so that's where the audio is coming from. There is a protective surface on here. The game allows the user to pick. There's no effect on gameplay for having those panels lighted or unlighted. You can pick whatever color you want. You can pick it to be, I like to have it in like the random adjustment mode. I actually have this system wired, no joke. This is kind of a cool thing, is that I actually have this system because of the way the room is configured, because I'm in the basement. I actually have my my doorbells chimed in through here basically, so that I can actually communicate with people who are at the front door of the garage. It's I can keep my eyes on the system from even when I'm down here. Another thing that I want to say is that, well, what do you do in the case of height? You got an office chair? Perfect. This is just for demonstration purposes. I know I'm awful. So this is basically it, and if you want to reset, you just simply hold down the start button, which actually does act as the insert quarter button, and that basically starts up. Now if you want to do a two-player game, let's load up this game for right now. If you want to be as two-player, this is typically how you would do it. We're going to hit start here for a one-player game, but let's say we want to have a second player. In this case, the second player starts up. Now, the second player puts in their quarter. This is really awkward for me, so I really do beg your... The one guy. But anyways, my character has died. Now the game has flipped over. And now this player is now in control. And that's basically what happens and what it means when you're playing head-to-head with this system. Now, if I wanted to knock one particular thing about it, is that unlike the newer stand-up cabinet, this is not Wi-Fi enabled. There is no Wi-Fi, which means that there's no internet access, which means you can't play online multiplayer. Unlike the Terminator cab or the Simpsons cab or that Turtles in Time cab over there, I can't put this online. It has no hardware and it has no functionality for that type of hardware. The newer stand-up cabinet does have that. That having been said, the thing that I really like is not for what internet connected cabinets is not actually the online multiplayer function, but actually the ability to update the firmware. This system does have a firmware update. I would require having a laptop with a USB cable, which I don't have, because it has to be a PC laptop with a USB cable, in order for me, and I have to take this unit apart just to be able to get to the firmware to flash it. So if I want to install the most recent version of this, I have to go through all that trouble to do so. If I had a wireless connected unit, or even an internet connected unit, I would be able to update the firmware in like 2 seconds. And to be perfectly honest, even the MVSX has a rear USB port actually that's accessible by the user that you can use to download firmware patches to. In this case, I have to literally take this thing apart to get to the access ports on it. I have to take basically take this whole top off. So I don't know how I feel about that, but to be perfectly honest, I'm not too bummed out about it because, well, it was a good deal for me. I got this in the Red Cross charity event, and I really got to say that for what it is and for what games are loaded, I really can't say that I'm really regretting this purchase. My wife really likes playing Dig Dug 2. Her sister-in-law likes playing Dig Dug 1. My father-in-law, well, like I said, really likes Galaxian and Galaga. I really wanted to play Ms. Pac-Man on this, of course, because I really think Ms. Pac-Man is the best, is my favorite Pac-Man game. I do not regret purchasing this thing. Hope you guys enjoyed this brief little review. Tell me what you think about it in the comments section below. Until next time, my name is Maniac with GameAccess.net. Take care. Over and out.